Hello, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey and what you need to hear today. How is everybody? Oh, I'm so over the moon and chuffed with this beautiful weather. It is breezy and sunny, and yesterday I got to go to the driving range, and everybody was just looking so cheerful and happy. You could see people puttering along in their little carts and laughing and having a nice time. There's these gorgeous little putting greens, a full course, and then a great driving range where you can just hit the balls, and we were at that and it was so lovely. I love summer pursuits where you can just walk endlessly on a beach or in a forest and be in a lovely temperature. Such an optimistic time. I absolutely love it. But it is also a superb time for rest. Lots of vacations happen, in June, July, and August to stop and recharge in self-care. So, you guys, I love this thing. I read this thing in Colette's Enchanted Map book about the magic stream, saying how everything is connected through, the universal flow of consciousness. And every experience, we seems to have its own story, right? With the beginning, the middle, and the end. But let's see events not as separate from one another. It's like we're all part of a continuity of a greater evolution of, we've seen this in our family, right? When people work too hard and they kind of hit a wall. And this premise came to me this morning when I was talking to a client about, sometimes we see ourselves as traveling down an alley, with a wall and a dead end, when we can make any of those alleys into a bridge. If we look after ourselves and we have balance and self-care and we recharge, we get in a great mental state. We don't feel like we have little or no options or like we're backed in a corner. We feel like, oh, I can bridge this to my next opportunity. I will slow down and recharge. I know for myself, I'm a pusher. Like if I'm out and I stop at one store and I do something, I'm like, oh, I might as well make this one more stop or do this walk or, go to the gym or whatever it is that puts me right on that precipice of oh, it's one thing too many, So we have to slow down and not push ourselves so hard. Now is a great time for self-care. If you're thinking, oh, I should go to the grocery store, I should cook this, I should clean out this, I should do that. How about you can give yourself a nice face mask or a manicure? You can just sit outside, a beautiful lawn chair, and just drink in the day and have a great cup of coffee and relax. We have to, shove as much stuff and activity into a weekend or a week as possible when it should be less is totally more in this season. It is a time to recharge and look after ourselves. Just stop everything. You don't have to answer those emails, especially I'm posting this on a Saturday. You don't have to work and push. Which brings us to the portal, which is change, gateway, and new beginnings. What would you like to commence in your life right now? What new start would you like to make? Whether it is a fitness goal, whether it is, a cleaner diet, whether it is, do you want to build a garden shed? Do you want to go someplace and see something? I remember listening to Heather McDonald yesterday. I thought it was the greatest bucket list. She's like, I want to swim in all those miraculous pools that you see, at Airbnbs and places, a huge infinity pool, some of the pools that are out there in the Maldives and other places. I love pools too. I have something about this huge attraction to gorgeous pools, especially if there's a vista or a view that's so dreamy. What is something that you want to change in your life that you realize it's a little stagnant? It's not giving you the results that it used to, the joy, the oomph, or the zhuzh. So you want to, I love being curious about what the day is going to bring. So I don't like to overplan. I like to leave room for if somebody calls and is like, yo, you want to go do this? Or somebody in my family suggests something, that type of energy. So it could be being too structured. Are you too structured? Do you feel like you fill in your calendar to the nth degree? What would you like to initiate just today? Just some small thing. It could be, if you want to be more organized as you use something, that you consciously put it back in a certain place. I like to start small with these little things, little intentions. I like to work in threes, so I'll make a little list of 3. So just say after this read, I'm noticing my desk is getting a collection of jewelry, cosmetics, cards, and some other things. So I would like to clear this all off and make a fresh start there. That's something that I would like to initiate for a new beginning today and a change. There are always all these avenues of adjustments that are available to us. All we need to do is just implement it and not let our head ego supercharge it into some big thing, right? A small step is all we need in order to do that. And I like to picture the end result in my head and then get excited about it, whether it's like a whole new curtain set, like in the living room that will look beautiful. That motivates me to want to shop and look for things. I know I got really excited. I found this wonderful macrame. It's can be a plant holder. It can hold anything. But I thought, oh my God, this is so fantastic to hold earrings with the open macrame, and then there's little pouches in it. And then I was like, I can put pieces in there, to hold that before they go out or photograph it, whatever it is. That's something I wanted to initiate easier access to some of my tools. And I thought, oh, this thing is not only beautiful, but it's fun and very helpful. So making things more accommodating to you, that's really helpful, right? If something is too challenging because it's in a bin and it's tucked in the back of something, even if I want to go get those materials or resources to make something, I'll talk myself out of it because access is too difficult. So make things very accessible that you want to use too. That's very helpful. Now the weavers, I love this fate, manifestation, and decisions. I had this, my head was just ticking 100 miles an hour when I woke up. I woke up a little earlier than normal, and it was like decision making time. And I was like, oh, well, what do I want to do? And I was like, well, you know what? I want to start early and begin my day and get my tapings and my readings out of the way so I can have time to just sit in the yard and meditate and relax and plan some organization for the day, restful beginning. And it's like, once I made that decision, I love not going backwards. Once I made a decision, I'm like, well, that's what I'm going to do. Get up, get coffee, begin this first process. And when we do that for ourselves, it alleviates all this bouncing all over and indecision. We just say, I'm going to do this, and then you begin it. You go on autopilot, but also let yourself talk yourself into it. Talk yourself in the best case scenario, like, oh, I can do this yard work. It's beautiful outside. I'm going to hear the birds. Whatever it is, best case scenario, make it seem really enhanced, done and dusted, and then have like a victory lap. Reward yourself in some way. Check. It feels so good to check things off lists too. So I like to write things down and then check it off too. Now, then when we get to fate and manifestation, what is something that you would like to manifest, you would like to magnetize towards you? I know today I want a beautiful, restful, calm cadence to the day where whatever presents itself, if I'm like, that sounds like something I'd like to be involved in, then I can just proceed chill, that I don't try to overpack or overproduce, that I just let things happen. I love manifesting days like that because wonderful surprises show up. I feel much more creative. I feel much more in flow state, and then I feel like it's my fate to succeed because I manifested exactly what I wanted by clarifying what it was, right? That's a decision. We got to make a decision. What do we want to manifest today? Peace and harmony in our family. I do want to have some nice family time later, so I'm going to manifest that by setting up a conducive environment for it, Get a little list of movies everybody might want to watch, some good snacks, things like that. Set the day up for success and what I want to manifest. So choosing what you want to manifest is very important. Sometimes it's hard for us to make that decision, have clarity, because the mind always wants a myriad of things, right? And I know if I overclog that whole system by, oh, I also want to go here and there and there, we can actually make ourselves tired just at the thought process of doing too much. So just one thing, just choosing one simple thing. I want to have a heavenly shower with body scrubs, whatever it is, you know what I mean? I like to go on Pinterest and YouTube and different things, and sometimes some lovely things are suggested through that as well. Just, hey, how about this? And you're like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. Especially for creatives, we do get like an onslaught of, oh, you should do this and that and that. And it's like, and then things can have tug of war with each other. So sometimes when something is just peacefully suggested, we can seize that moment, move that muscle, and change a thought and get into that beautiful creative flow. So you guys, that is what you're meant to hear today. Take it easy, have a little self-care, recharge, and then you'll see healthy change in growth and new beginnings and where you want to go. Because once we're rested and recharged, we operate much more kindly to ourselves and to other people around us. We have more definitely cognitive abilities because our brain isn't zapped onto little sleep. We make better dietary choices. We also recognize, I feel like when I'm rested and recharged, I then know what will facilitate like mellowness and flow state and what won't, and I can avoid the things that won't, move into the things that will. People, places, and things, we know energetically what is combative and what is peaceful and soothing and helpful for us, and then we tend to move more in that direction when we look after ourselves, for sure. So you guys, that is what you were meant to hear today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Now I'm going to go upload. Love and light.